WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, reviewing rare and exotic whiskeys. This is Torabhaig. This is Cnoc Na Mòine, Hill of Peat. Cnoc can do, Hill, Na Mòine, Na of Moine, Peat. Whiskybase 249733. This was bottled on the 17th of January 2024. This is the Legacy Series, Chapter 3. We'll get back to that in a moment. We have American Oak. We have Oloroso. We have Pedro Jimenez. We have a recommended retail price over here of about 55 euros. This just hit the market in the middle of March, so I'm fairly good with this. Now, Chapter 3 of the Legacy Series. When I go to the website, Torabhaig.com, I can actually go and take a look at all of the Legacy Series, and I see the very first Legacy Series. It was the single malt released 2017. I actually did did I do a review about that? Yes, I did. It was also called Alt Glen. And then we had the Legacy Series second edition Alt Glen. And then what we have is, and I don't understand why it's the Legacy Series. It says here, Alt Glen, the Legacy Series, cask strength 61.1%. It doesn't have a chapter. And then we have Chapter 3. Isn't that weird? So we have Chapter 1, no name. We have Chapter 2, a name. We have Chapter 3, a name. And we have the cask strength, no name. I think they need to work on, Torabhaig, I think you need to work on your naming of your Legacy Series and your chapters. Now, this is $79.90. This is euros. This is 61 point, was it 6 or 61.1? 61.1% ABV. I have not done a video about it, and therefore this is going to be my video about it. I'm combining bottles at the moment. And what is really, really cool that when you go to Torabhaig.com, you get a lot of information that is in the back of the bottle as well. All right. So you get a tasting wheel, spicy, fairly, oily, not much, peaty, middle, fainty, absolutely not, cereal, middle, grassy, a little bit less, floral, almost none, fruity, a lot. Solventy, absolutely not. Sweet, yes, very. Woody, yes. Nutty, a little bit, and spicy as well. And it does tell you the following. We have the malt, the grain. This was Concerto and Anchor malt. Yay. We have the yeast. This is Pinnacle and Anchor yeasts. We have the maturation in ex-bourbon American oak, Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez casks. Were they European oak, American oak casks? I don't know. And we have the spirits phenol. Usually we measure the grain ppm, the phenols, but they talk about spirit phenol. 78.4. And the whiskey phenols, it means after it's been matured for at least 3 years, this might be 4, this might be 5, it's a no-age statement, we have just 19.7 ppm left. And it's been diluted down to 46%. That also makes a difference. No chill filtration, no coloring added. All right, Cnoc Na Mòine, translated the Hill of Peat in Gaelic, embodies the essence of its namesake with a composition that mirrors the dramatic, I'm reading from the website, and untamed beauty of Skye. This is the second distillery in Skye. The first one used to be the only distillery. Now they say the first distillery, Taliska, from Diageo. Matured in a distinct combination of bourbon, American oak, Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez casks. This release marries the robust peatiness Torabhaig is renowned for with the rich sherry notes culminating in a darker, more pronounced hue. Now, let's talk about that hue for a moment. Do you notice anything? This has a very, very, very light peach moment. But other than that, nothing. In the glass, I can't tell. There's no difference for me in the glass. I would say the sherry influence is here minimal. Now there's also a web page about this. This has a little bit of a different malt source. This is Concerto and Laureate. So here we had Concerto and Anchor. Here we have Pinnacle MG Plus as a yeast and Safe Spirit M-1. Here we just had the normal Pinnacle. Maybe they just forgot to put the MG+1 and Anchor yeast. Here we have, and this is what I like, we have 80% first fill bourbon casks and 20% refill whiskey barrels. Excellent. Why didn't you do that with this, Torabhaig? Tell me the percentage. We want that as geeks. Here we have a very vague 78 plus ppm rating. Why 78 plus? Did the device not go higher? What's going on there? And the whiskey phenols is 22.8. So this has more. This is 19.7. Is it due to the reduction from cask strength 61.1 down to 56%? Or where is the difference in ppm coming from? No chill filtration, no coloring added. So this is Whiskybase 238545. This is Whiskybase 249733. All right, on the nose. That is salty, and that is campfire. They call it smoke and brine. I totally agree. This is smoother. This is more citrus, lemon custard. I like. There's a little bit of brininess, but not much. This has so much more. This is so much younger, it feels like, than this. It's really interesting how the age is evident in the two of these. Batch strength from the cask. Smoke and brine. Okay. I'm not 100% sure where they get their peat from. I don't think they're getting their peat directly from Skye. If I remember correctly, I might be totally wrong. They get their peat from Highlands. I might be wrong. So it's also the question, where do they do their malting at? All right. If we go to the website here of Torabhaig and go a little bit to the journey, we will see that in the year 2002, way before Mossburn was even involved, Sir Ian, he actually created a college for Gaelic on the island of Skye. He actually submitted planning permission, and it was granted. So after many years of planning, the permits to build a distillery at Torabhaig were issued in 2020. Unfortunately, Sir Ian dies in 2010, so the whole thing is on ice. And then Mossburn comes along 2024 and says, hey, we're going to renovate this old farmhouse and make it into a distillery. So Torabhaig is owned by Mossburn, which is owned by a Swedish company. They own the Borders, and they also the Borders Distillery, as well as the independent bottler called Mossburn. So they're doing interesting things in the whiskey business, and this is their peated version here. So they have the groundbreaking ceremony 2014. So 2017 is when the spirit finally flows. 3 years of building, and 2021, exactly 3 years later, Torabhaig single malt Scotch, the Legacy series, is born. And that from the very beginning, they've been telling us the ppm of the barley and the ppm of the whiskey in our glass, which I think is fabulous. So they usually tell us the cask composition. Here, unfortunately, not. All right, let's try this. I am not a peat head. This is very briny. This is very salty. This is very seaweedy. If you go to the mud flats of northern Germany, we call them Watt. And you can actually walk in the mud flats. So the tide goes out, you have literally miles worth of mud that you can walk through. I've done that a lot of my life. And towards the end, when the sun's there in the summertime and the mud starts to dry out, that's the flavor that I'm getting here. Very, very minuscule, very, very subtle berry notes, a little bit as if you put a little bit of port in it, maybe a little bit of raspberry jam, that flavor, but just a hint. Is it enough? I would have expected more. but I guess they wanted that perfect balance there. What I can do is, since I've actually mentioned the Talisker, this would be their port. This is their old version of the port, Talisker, the Talisker Port Re. Look, I have a heel. I did this in my German video as well, just the comparison. This is bottle kill, yay! So we have the standard 45.8. On the back, it actually says here, no, it doesn't. Does it say? Imported in the Netherlands. It does not say mit Zuckercouleur. Oh, it does, mit Farbstoff. So it does say mit Farbstoff, and it is chill filtered, unfortunately. This is non-chill filtered. This is 46%. This is no added coloring. Just as the direct comparison, what would I prefer? This is, as I said, 55 euros. I can get the Port Re 10 euros cheaper at least. Both of them are no age statements. What is very interesting is I am almost peat blind after tasting this. There's a very subtle whiff of peatiness in this compared to this Torabhaig. How many whiskeys you know that have a peated barley level of 78 ppm? Torabhaig is 50. This is 78. So this is not just peated. This is heavily peated Sky single malt whiskey. And this is hardly even noticeable. It's much smoother. It's much softer. It's much more filtered. It's a much more of a caramel moment. Where does that come from? I'm not really sure. I would give this, as I said, I'm not a peat head and expected more sherry influence. I would give this a solid C. Value for money, C minus. All right, so they're doing good things, but it is no an age statement. Now this 61.1% cask strength version of this does have a recommended retail price of $69.90. I really enjoy the nose, and I thoroughly enjoy the taste. This has more ppm, and yet it tastes much less. If I were to dilute it down to 48%, I'm sure I'd get, let's do it. I'm sure I'd get more of the peatiness, the smokiness coming out here. I still get a little bit of the brine. I still get a little bit of the bonfire, but I get a lot more of the vanilla. I get a lot more of the oak. I get a lot more of that gooseberries and lemon custard here. This is very, very nice. I like this a lot. And that's just me talking. That's not really what I normally would tend towards, gravitate towards. It's sweeter. No, the peat doesn't come out more. Even though there's more ppm, this is peatier. Weird. Very weird. My tongue tricks me. All right, so if I were to pick a winner here, this would be a C to C+. Value for money, C to C-. I like. This, I expected more of the sherry influence. It has a little bit of, it puts its elbows out. It's got some sharp edges that I'm not really looking forward to. And the Port Re used to be one of my favorite products of the Talisker range. It just feels soft. It just feels artificial compared to these. These are raw, true, good whiskeys. And the Talisker is just artificial. I'm sorry to say that. So my question today is, what is your favorite Sky whiskey? I'm going to allow you to do that. I do have a Talisker 18 up here, which I still thoroughly enjoy. But the prices have just gotten out of hand. It's just crazy. I do enjoy the cask strength here. What other products from Sky do you like? From Torabhaig or from Talisker? Write them down in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for sharing this video, or sharing the idea of this weirdo American over in Germany tasting whiskeys you might not have ever have seen, rare and exotic, and things that are new in the market, and things that have been on the market for a while, and things that are only in the German market. See you real soon. Whiskey Jason. Bye-bye.